the U.S. military for a real conflict? And the answer is totally unprepared. Scary unprepared. I don't think people understand that. But anyway, the only reason I'm saying any of this is because I really, really care.
All right, so there's Tucker talking with Bannon. He also criticized Trump in a newsletter. Here's what he wrote. While the American military may not have physically perpetuated the assault, years of funding, sending weapons to Israel, which Donald Trump just bragged about on Truth Social, undeniably placed the U.S. at the center of last night's event. Politicians purporting to be America first can't now credibly turn around and say they had nothing to do with it. Donald Trump snapped back during an interview with The Atlantic. Well, considering that I'm the one that developed America First and considering that the term wasn't used until I came along, I think I'm the one that decides that. For those people who say they want peace, you can't have peace if Iran has a nuclear weapon. So for all of those wonderful people who don't want to do anything about Iran having a nuclear weapon, that's not peace. So then Tucker is back, this time on X. The real divide isn't between people who support Israel and people who support Iran or the Palestinians. The real divide is between those who casually encourage violence and those who seek to prevent it, between warmongers and peacemakers. Who are the warmongers? They would include anyone who's calling Donald Trump today to demand airstrikes and other direct U.S. military involvement in a war with Iran. On that list, Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, Rupert Murdoch, Ike Perlmutter, Marian Edelson. At some point, they will all have to answer for this, but you should know their names now. And podcaster and frequent Rogan guest Dave Smith chimed in, apologizing for backing Trump in 2024, going as far as calling for his impeachment and removal.
Donald Trump looks, and man, I supported him this last year. I apologize for doing so. It was a bad calculation. At the time, it seemed like the right one. But he should be impeached and removed for this one, and not on some not on some ridiculous Nancy Pelosi. Of course, the Congress will never do it because they're all a bunch of corrupt hacks.
This is the one thing they support. This is like the.
Donald Trump should be impeached and removed for this. All of his supporters should turn on him. It's the absolute betrayal of everything that he ran and campaigned on and everything that he stood for. And I will say, despite the fact that, Donald Trump supporters have been labeled like a cult following, and that certainly is true for a percentage of his supporters, he is going to lose his coalition over this. I know I don't just speak for myself when I say there are a lot of us who simply will not go along with this.
Voices are growing louder and larger number, it seems. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene agrees. She shared this post. Everyone is finding out who are real America First MAGA and who were fake and just said it because it was popular. Unfortunately, the list of fakes are becoming quite long and expose themselves quickly. Anyone slobbering for the U.S. to become fully involved in the Israel-Iran war is not America First MAGA. Wishing for murder of innocent people is disgusting. We are sick and tired of foreign wars, all of them. And she had more to say. She went on to say, every country involved and all over the world can be happy, successful, and rich if we all work together and seek peace and prosperity. Taking this position is not anti-Semitic. It's rational, sane, loving toward all people. Taking this position of peace and prosperity for all is not isolationism. It leads to great trade deals, great economies that help all people. It's what many Americans voted for in 2024. America first, America first, America first. That is how we make America great again. So on Piers Morgan today, Cenk, you found common ground with Paciebiak. Let's watch that.
This is not America's war. This is a war that is confined to two parties in the Middle East. This is a war where the United States absolutely faces the threat of escalation. 10 years ago today, 10 years ago today, Donald Trump comes down the golden escalator. And what did he say? No more foreign, endless wars. And instead, why don't we focus on the problems at home? He talked about, obviously, illegal aliens. He talked about deportations. But he said trillions of dollars spent in Iraq, trillions spent in Afghanistan. And what did it get for us? Nothing.
Look at me and Jack. Me and Jack don't agree on anything else. but we agree that we should serve America. I say Americans first, not Israelis. Stop the war.
Let me say this.
Look at MAGA.
Okay, here's what I'll say.
Ben speak.
Number one.
Steve
All right,
Bannon, all
Steve,
states
time out.
stop the war.
All
We didn't
right.
ask for war.
Ben,
Here's the
let
left
Ben
and the right
speak.
uniting, saying we don't want war.